15 to 20-year-old women don't just go out by the roadside and die.
A cold case since 1988.
It's possible, for example, that she was strangled. It's possible that maybe her throat was cut and no bones were involved by the knife. Possible that she died of a drug overdose.
For 30 years, she was a sketch, a forensics artist creation. Not anymore. The secret hidden in the woods off 196 just south of South Haven is finally revealed. Her name, Marcia Kaylynn Bateman, a 28-year-old woman from Oklahoma City.
We did everything we could on those remains through the years.
But it was what Michigan State Police did last April that finally gave a name to this face. Working with the nonprofit DNA Doe Project, investigators submitted a femur bone from the remains to test against a database of DNA submitted to genealogy sites by people tracing their roots. After 30 years, it took just 5 weeks to get a possible match, which police confirmed themselves through further testing and Bateman's friends and family in Oklahoma City. They had filed a missing persons report in 1988.
Sounded like she had a lifestyle in which she was living on the street a little bit and somewhat transient. So the fact that we have an individual from Oklahoma City that made it up to Michigan could be explained in that way.
State police have not yet determined if Bateman's death was a homicide, but her ID is of course a critical step forward and her family's peace of mind priceless.
I'm here for my son. In December of 2008, he disappeared.
There are so many searching for answers.
The Lord giving me the strength.
Inside the Warren Civic Center in Metro Detroit this week, moms like Deborah Stewart.
I'm sorry.
She went to this MSP ID the Missing event to give her DNA, hoping it will help find her son, missing from Detroit since December 2008.
He left, and he hasn't made contact with any family members or anything.
Police will try to determine if Stewart's son is among the more than 300 unidentified remains in Michigan, among the thousands of cases listed in NamUs, a clearinghouse for unclaimed remains and missing people.
Ideally, this particular process could almost eliminate all their cases. It could solve them all.
Kevin Smith is an Indiana State Police captain and a detective in one of the earliest cases that used genealogy testing to catch a killer. The man who kidnapped and killed 8-year-old April Tensley from Fort Wayne, Indiana in 1988 left behind plenty of DNA, and in the years that followed, he continued to terrorize the community, scrawling a confession on a barn door saying he would kill again and sending threatening notes to children, like this one that started, "Hi honey, I've been watching you."
Very unusual to have somebody taunt like this that many years after. It's really the only one in my career that I've had it happen, and it's pretty unusual. And everybody wanted to find out who did it.
When Smith heard it was genealogy testing that led to the arrest of California's Golden State Killer in 2018, he submitted DNA from the Tensley murder scene to test against a database. Within a couple months, genealogists had zeroed in on 2 possible suspects, brothers, and Smith took it from there, ultimately arresting John Miller in 2018 for the murder of April Tensley.
In a matter of months, we go from having absolutely no idea who did this to knowing exactly who did it and having a full confession. It's something.
It's a game changer. There's no doubt about it.
Michigan State Police investigators who identified Marcia Kaylynn Bateman through genealogy say her case is just the beginning. They've already submitted samples from 6 other unidentified remains in southwest Michigan. There are at least 24 such cases throughout West Michigan, mysteries waiting to be solved, faces waiting for names, and families for loved ones.
He is my baby. He was the first born. I want to find out if he's alive.